Okay.
So we're here today in this amazing magical moment at the Premiere Studio with Uncle Panther and with Reid, and we're blessed to have this time with them exclusively and ask them amazing questions about their creativity, about what they've done, what kind of change they bring to our new generation's music and industry as itself. So now, Uncle Panther, I'm very honored that you let us to be part of your creative process in the studio. Can you tell me just like a little recap, what is this studio about and what is the most key factor of this studio that makes amazing artists come here and record?
First of all, this is not my studio. We work out of the studio. The name of the studio is Premiere Studio, where basically a majority of the time I've been here for the last 2 years doing a lot of different things. Book room, I work with my different artists, bring different things to the table. At the same time, Aaron does his own thing. They have their own studio upstairs where basically they do their own thing. So musically we connect, as a friend we connect, I give him the respect, all of that. And he's growing up in a different direction where he's following his bloodline, his music. Right. And I respect him a lot because he showed me who he is and where he comes from. And I have so much respect for him about music because he understands music. And there's a lot of people,
I like it.
do different things, but end of the day, his music is different, and I'm happy to be part of the situation.
That's great. And Aaron, it's a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Thank you.
And I love what you're wearing because
it.
It's fashion and music, it all comes together. Can you just tell me a little bit like what motivates you to wake up in the morning and do what you do the best in music and creativity? How do you come up in such an amazing way of expressing yourself?
I get inspiration from a lot of different places. More so like the old times, and I get inspired by the new times too, but the old times really inspire me.
Who do you think your favorite artists like from old times that you really have a very special connection to and who influenced your career?
Michael Jackson, Jimi Hendrix, Lenny Kravitz, a lot of people, John Lennon.
Do you think
so many?
Do you think those artists, when they created music, they always focused on the past, or do you think they always took something that they learned through their music schools? How did you come around to be an artist? Did you started going to school as an artist, or you learned music through your family?
Being an artist to me was like second nature almost, because my mother was an artist, so I grew up in a music home. I grew up watching her, and she had her group, she had TLC, and I grew up around artist development, and my dad had a record label, and it was just like I grew up around all that stuff. So being an artist to me was just something that I didn't know that was what I was gonna be. Like I knew I wanted to do something in music, but I didn't know I was gonna be an artist. And it's a love and passion for me. So it's really just like, it's like breathing. It's like singing.
And what makes you like inspired to have such a fresh air of music that you have right now out that people are crazy about?
Because people need more diversity. People need something different. People need to feel something different than they don't feel every day. Like it's like bringing back a feeling that you love or like remember. And like I heard yesterday that music is one of the only things in the world that can trigger like an old memory, or like even bring back memory loss or something like that. Music is one of the only things that can do that in the world. So when I learned that, it made me recognize that my music has the potential to do that. My music can bring back that feeling of when you loved music, when you loved real singing, when you loved the artist for who they were, instead of just loving their, their style or whatever it is, So.
And if you describe your style in your own way, because even though there are different types of music and movements, what would you describe your music as? What kind of style and genre that you express yourself with?
I don't know.
But like when you feel something about certain piece, because you create so many pieces, like do you have a different kind of connection to each of them, or do you have like a feeling of sadness or joy that you want to express?
Love. Yeah, I try to be happy. Sometimes I come off happier than others, you know, but it's love though.
What makes you feel love? Tell me the definition of love in your words, like
things around me, people around me. You know, I love women. You know.
What about women do you love? Tell me about it.
I love the body of a woman.
Okay.
I love.
It's what actually old artists praised all their life. You know, Botticelli and Leonardo da Vinci, and basically. Do you feel like you're expressing music as a female form, or?
Yeah, almost. I have the ability to speak to a female's emotions, like through my music and through my songs. You know?
Do you feel a sensitivity, or like what do you think is the most interesting factor about the woman?
Depends on the woman. It can be her personality, it can be her, the fact that she's mysterious, it could be the fact that maybe she's not nice, maybe she doesn't like me, or it can be a lot of things, you know?
But, like, have you been in love? Like, truly in love?
I think so.
Okay, but then when you were in love, tell me.
So.
When you were in love, and did you create a lot of pieces when you were in love? So what is your most, like, favorite one that you can maybe, like, sing a melody or something? Or describe
the first song that I ever came out with, Crazy Love, is when I was coming out of a relationship, and... Well, actually, it was like right at the end. We were still together technically when I made the song, but it was like we weren't. You know, like we were like not even together. But we were. That was my longest relationship, though.
How long was it?
A year.
A year.
Practically.
Like mine.
Yeah, you know. So I made that song, and that's my favorite that I've made, honestly, because it's just like. So me, but my new material is killing it. It's like it's next level, you know. It's like that's me now, you know.
And as far as like new material, what makes your material so special then anybody would like listen to it and they say, I had to have this song on my iTunes, I have to download it, and I have to buy the record?
I think original.
Definitely.
Definitely original. Because if you feel something, like he said, you know, a lot of people, it's been proven, like if they lose their memory or something will happen where they lost their memory in a car accident or anything. Music can bring them back.
Anything,
So music is like a medicine. Like in a way how it comes up, you know, it would be different. So it's kind of beautiful. Like his music is original. It comes from the heart, like love. A lot of people won't understand, but a person knows the love word, they will understand his music.
What do you think is the most passionate to you as a human being, like you would want to express as a passion that you feel towards the world, towards humanity? How do you feel about everything that's going on right around us, that the life is changing so fast with nature and everything else like that?
Well, I believe in God, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. I think that, you know, the world needs help. I think the world needs love. I think the world needs music, you know, but I don't know if the world is ready for that.
Why do you think they're not ready for that?
They're stubborn. People are stubborn.
What do you think can help people to change to a different level? Besides the music, I know that like a key factor, but what do you think as a human being can change them?
I believe they have to have faith. And in order to have faith, you have to believe. You know?
Right.
If you don't have faith, then you can't believe.
Do you think?
know, like
Do you think like when you create something comes like from the divine and it just comes through you and then you
yeah,
like
every day,
If you're meant to it.
every day, every day.
every day? Do you get inspired every day? Do you compose or create something every single day?
Yeah.
Do you spend a lot of hours, or how do you think you would explain the type of creativity and the process that you go through every single day as an artist?
Oh, I go through so much, you know. Not only am I an artist, I'm also a songwriter. I'm a producer. I'm an A&R for a record label.
Phenomenal.
So I have traits, you know. But I spend, you know, an equal. I try to balance my time out well with all of the things that I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And every day, you know, what if I don't write a song, then I make a beat. You know, if I don't make a beat, then I'll work with somebody. You know, like I'm always doing something.
What do you think is the biggest challenge for you as a record producer?
I don't know. I would say that, you know, you want everything to sound different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so don't go to what's comfortable for you. Like, you know, try something else. Try something different, you know? Yeah.
What do you think is the key element and the factor in your music as an artist? How do you express the feeling of love in a way that everybody else understands the same way you feel?
I mean, sometimes for people you kind of have to dumb it down, you know? So I tend to just say the word love a lot, you know? And,
in your lyrics.
And people just, you know, they can like it, they might not like it because I say it so much, but I say it for a reason, you know? And people need to know that love comes in many different forms and ways, you know? It's like you can love something and it could be terrible for you, or you could love something and it could be great for you, you know?
Like creativity, of course. And
Yeah.
who do you think is the most interesting artist or a person that you ever met in your life?
In my life.
Yes.
I would have to say my aunt, Whitney Houston.
Yeah, God bless her soul, she was amazing.
She passed and it broke my heart. You know, she was very close to me as a child.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, like a memory that you have about her that you would love to share with others, so they kind of, because you knew her in such a special way that probably nobody ever knew,
Mm-hmm.
because that connection is very unique. And what do you think is the element that you remember about her the most, that you treasure close to you?
I remember how amazing of a person she was, how warm she felt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how when you hug her, it's not like, hey, it's not cold. It's like, I love you.
She
You know,
meant
it's
it.
like, yeah, it's you know, I felt that from her. I felt music from her. You know, her and my mother really taught me how to sing. And, you know, watching them and listening to Michael Jackson, you know, and watching everything and watching Usher, you know, like, just, it really is the reason why I do what I do now.
And how old you were when you first heard the sound of music?
I was born, and my mother and father had music playing when I was
When you were
coming out.
coming up?
Yeah, there was a song came out.
And before that, my mother was recording her Always album.
Always, yeah.
And so, I've heard music since before I was actually out of the womb.
And what was your very first instrument when you started compose or do something in music?
Drums.
Drums. Why drums?
Because it was like the heart of the, you know, it's like that's what keeps it going.
How did you get a hold of drum set?
My dad got me a drum
Your
set
dad gets
for
you a drum-
Christmas when I was 6.
God, 6 years
I was 6 years old and I got a drum set for Christmas. And the first song that I learned how to play was James Brown.
James Brown. Amazing, amazing. So this influence of such an incredible artist, you basically grew up like a sponge. You were sucking it in and exploding right now in your own words and in your own preferences.
And it's amazing.
Amazing. What do you think is you would wish for the future generations, for people and kids that's starting out right now? What would be your wish for them and regards, so they keep on doing and they don't give up and they continue with a dream that they want to achieve? What do you think would be the key element for you to advise them?
Be yourself. Just be you, you know? Imagine, create. You can make anything that you want in the world, you know? Just paint the picture for people and they'll get it. You know?
Right. And then what is the album that you're working on right now?
It's called White Noise. It's
Okay.
my second EP.
And tell me a little bit more about it. Like, what are you trying to express in this piece? And
This one is a little bit more about growth in my sound. You know, it's like, it's about taking the listener out of, if you listen to my first EP, The Experience, then you know that I'm very big on live instruments and guitars and stuff like that. But this one is more about feeling. It's a lot of harder beats. You know, the drums are harder and the subjects are a little bit deeper. You know, so I would just say it's an evolution. You know, and it's really good. It's really good.
And when do you think it will come out complete? When it's done?
Probably January, February, March,
January,
April,
February,
May,
March.
June, July, August. You know, like I
So
don't know.
do you always like have deadlines, or when you? Because I know creative people, it's hard for them to have deadlines because it suppresses their creativity.
I can't make deadlines. I just
So how?
I'm not good at it.
What do you think is the fastest album you ever put out?
There's no yeah. I mean, there's no, but that wasn't fast. That took a year and change. You know, like there's no easy album. You can't make an easy album. If you say that you write an easy album, you know, one or maybe none of the songs will be smashes. You know, so unless you're very talented.
What do you think makes an artist a successful recording artist? What do you think is the definition of that? What do you think, in your opinion? Because you work with a lot of artists, you're producing. So what do you think makes them that key element that will change the world or change the music industry?
What do you mean?
Well, you know, like a lot of times, like, you know, we know Madonna changed, and a lot of artists, they change the industry as itself, the sound, the Beatles, they changed.
Like Lady Gaga
Lady
came
Gaga,
and she changed
like
it. Nicki Minaj came, she
they
changed.
all changed it in a way that now we take it in like contemporary sense. What do you think is the key element for you, for an artist to be different, to change the world like that?
It's just they gotta have that thing. They just gotta have that thing. Like,
you know,
it's something that you can't even explain. You know.
You have to build up your own foundation and own confidence with music, where you come out with that kind of stuff. Now, if people like what you're doing and you performing and you developing yourself the right way, showing them, and they're looking at you growing up the right way, and they're seeing, wow, he did this now he's in a different level, that should be.
But Uncle Panther, you work with so many incredible artists. What do you think for you makes it different? When you see somebody, you're going to say right away, this is an incredible artist, I want to work with him.
You know what? I work with a lot of artists where you could think they're going to be, but down the road it don't happen. So don't like to live that kind of dream no more. So it has to be honest. You put time and effort into it, and you will you see the improvements. It's no guarantee, but you should trust yourself before you do anything. That's the way I look at it. Music is beautiful, long as you respect the music.
Definitely.
And tell me, how did you two meet, like, and started working together? But I know it's a great merger, and this is an incredible.
We met through my brother, Rich Hill. He's a very talented artist.
Can you help?
My brother. I'm good. I'm just getting my sleeve down. We met through my brother, Rich, like 5 years ago, maybe. 6 longer.
2005.
6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that.
Yeah,
Me and Rich been like really close for like 8 years, 7 years. So that was when we met, and we just been close ever since. You know,
Like
made
you
music. He was one of the first people
to
to believe that I could make music, and he was one of the first people that kind of, he first of all let me into his studio, and didn't charge me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's my dude, you know?
He believed in you.
He believed in me. He was one of the first people that were like, do what you feel, like, you know. And, you know, I was, like, rapping and stuff in the beginning, and, like, you know, I'm figuring out who I wanted to be, and I hated it. And
why did you hate it?
I didn't hate it. I was like, this is not me.
Okay.
You know? And actually, after Michael passed, that was the first time that I wrote a song.
Mm-hmm.
And
which song was that?
It was If It Wasn't Crazy Love. It was another song that I wrote called Angel. Angel, yeah.
Angel. She's my angel.
And so that was like one of the first songs that I ever wrote, and that was like the point, you know, for me, where it's just like.
What do you think stirred inside of you when you created that song? What did you feel when you just put the piece out and you said, "I'm done"?
I felt like when Michael died, he came through my, you know, my mouth.
Through your vocals.
You know, he came through my voice, like when I sang. You know, when I felt the beat, when I was in that room by myself. You know, just listening, and I made Angel in Atlanta. You know, and it was just like I was just by myself in the room, and I felt it, and it just happened.
Do you believe in angels?
Absolutely.
What do you think is behind you? Do you believe there's an angels behind you?
Yeah. Always.
I do believe in spirits.
Absolutely.
And because after this life, you have another life to go.
My angels, they stay with me.
They stay with you. They protect you.
Yeah. You know.
And then why did you name that song Angel?
Because Michael was an angel.
Michael was an angel. Have you ever?
And also music was an angel. So the song was called. It was about angel, but it was like if I had the song, you would understand what I'm saying. Like it's more about life and like, you know, music being an angel as well.
Because he did have a rough journey, I know, but he was an angel. Definitely. It's a lot of times when I think of Michael Jackson, I think what a journey he had. But he left like an angel.
Yeah.
He did live like an angel. And that's why that piece, An Angel, it moves myself to hear you say that. It's very incredible that we can continue that legacy that you're doing.
Mm.
And
thank you so much.
I'm so happy that you're one of those artists that Movers and Shakers and with Uncle Panther, who actually has the right direction for the artists like you.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think his experience that he shared with you made a changing point? Like, what do you think because I understand he took you under the wing, right? So
yeah, I mean, when I was
you kind of grew together as well in a way like.
I have a lot of respect for Eric, as not as an artist, as a human being, and who he is, because he has a lot of love to offer. Imagine you have a pouch, and you only took a pinch, and you let the world see. You still got long to go. Do you understand what he has to offer? And he has a lot of love to show, actually, because family gave him love, and that's who he is. Love, you know. And
who's your role model? Like, who do you think is your person that you always look up to?
My dad.
Your dad.
My mother. Family. Definitely.
very hardworking people.
Yeah, that's incredible. You know, it's incredible to have people like you here, and I thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It's been an incredible journey for us as well.
Thank you.
And God bless you.
It's one of the best, you know, talks I've had in my life.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay.
You know, it's for what I feel sometimes. I want to see the soul of an artist, because that what makes you
The owner's right there.
different and what makes you music so personal.
You see me now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see you too.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
My
It's
coffee.
incredible.